Hi friends, I know it's been a hard season. Many of us are staying safe at home, canceling plans. Maybe you've experienced some sad things, some things that make you feel worried, some things that are making you feel down. So today I want to invite you on an epic adventure. Maybe in your yard, in your neighborhood if it's safe, or maybe without even leaving the house. Did you know that the word adventure comes from the Latin word for something about to happen? So close your eyes and imagine what might happen. Imagine the greatest adventure you could ever have and where it would take you. To magical lands, forests of exotic animals, hidden treasures. I don't like suspense or secrets. So, spoiler alert, I'm going to tell you where this journey is taking us, what's about to happen. We are headed to a small stable, a place where animals live, on the outskirts, the insignificant edges of a small, unimportant city. There, we'll find an ordinary teenage girl and her fiancé, a poor builder, young and unmarried, and we'll find the baby that was born into their life, wrapped in rags, laying in a wooden trough meant for feeding the nearby animals. So, not quite what you imagined, was it? This journey is at the same time one of the greatest adventures you may ever take, and one of the simplest. But let's rewind for a second. Today, Advent begins. Advent sounds a little like adventure, but it means arrival. Advent is the time where we wait for the arrival or birth of that little babe in the stable who, you might have guessed it, was named Jesus. But if you're going to go on this Advent adventure with me, before we get to Jesus on Christmas Eve, before we get to the arrival, to what happens next, there is much to do. Maybe some of you and your families have welcomed a new family member into your lives, so you'll know that there is a time before they arrive and a time after. A new time that is different than it ever was before. When Jesus arrived, the world changed. It would never be the same. On Christmas, we are given the opportunity to remember this fact and let it change our lives when we wake up on Christmas morning and the next day and the next. But it's not so simple as Jesus just coming to earth and our lives changing overnight. My mom is a pastor, and whenever strangers in public find this out, they often like to proclaim that they've been saved by Jesus. And she asks them, saved for what? That is to say, sure, we've welcomed Jesus into our lives, but how do we live each day differently from the one before once we know who Jesus was and what he did for the least of these? So let's take the next 4 weeks journeying to the manger, getting ready, not for the birth of Jesus, but for a new way of living. When Jesus does arrive, when we reach the end of this adventure, not to a castle guarded by dragons or an island paradise, but when we arrive at that simple, dusty stable on the outskirts of town, we will arrive ready to follow him. If you're up to the challenge of following me on this adventure, we're going to need to equip ourselves. Read with me to find out what this week's scripture says about what we'll need on the first leg of our adventure. Following hard times, sun will fade out, moon cloud over. Stars fall out of the sky, cosmic powers tremble. And they'll see the Son of Man enter in grand style, his arrival filling the sky. He'll dispatch the angels. They will pull in the chosen from the four winds, from pole to pole. Take a lesson from the fig tree. From the moment you notice its buds form the merest hint of green, you know summer's just around the corner. So it is with you. When you see all these things, you know that he is at the door. Don't take this lightly. I'm not just saying this for some future generation, but for this one too. These things will happen. Sky and earth will wear out. My words won't. But the exact day and hour, no one knows that, not even heaven's angels, not even the sun, only God. So keep a sharp lookout, for you don't know the timetable. It's like when your parent goes out and leaves you home in charge, each assigned a task and telling someone to keep watch. So stay at your post, watching. You have no idea when they will return, evening, midnight, dawn, or morning. You don't want them surprising you with you asleep on the job. I say it to you, and I'm saying it to all. Stay at your post. Keep watch. Here's your challenge for the week. Go outside, observe, grab some binoculars or a magnifying glass or make your own. Look for signs of change from season to season as you walk in nature, in your neighborhood, as you walk down the sidewalk. If you can, grab a leaf or twig, or if you can't find one, download the Advent materials from the link below and cut out the fig branch. Add it to your Advent adventure wreath, or place your adventuring supplies and discoveries somewhere in your home as a reminder to pay attention, to always be aware of what is around the corner, to not fall asleep on the job, because there is work to be done, And Jesus will only ask more of us, not less. So you've got your binoculars and your fig branch now. I hope you come back next week and we'll soon discover what else you need for this Advent adventure.
All right, say bye.
Bye. Bye.
Can't see you, sis.